Me. That looks good. Okay. Oh, let me just check to make sure they're not running Star Citizen Live now. I didn't even think to check, because I'm a dum-dum. That's fine. That'll be at 5 PM BST. Perfect. That's basically probably when we'll finish. Sorry, John. That's all good. That's all running. Testing. Oh, that's why. I haven't got my cup of tea yet. I'm logging into things. Passwords. Oh, wow. So I just gotta log onto my Authy app on my phone briefly. No. Everything's fingerprinted now. Come on. Remember it for more than 30 days. Come on. Phone. Why am I so bad at everything? Perfect. Testing. That works fine. Perfect. Right. I get my cup of tea and then my start. So you're going to get another song or two, probably. BRB? I haven't even started yet and I'm BRBing. can't find my bristle brush for my beard. My beard is now unkempt. Oh my god, I'm a monster. Hidden around my PC or something? I've been brushing my face. Want to see you brush my beard? You can go to my OnlyFans account. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. Make sure Zin isn't in this chat channel. She's not. Good, good, good. We'll see when she turns up. She's currently working on some videos. Right, shall we turn this down a bit? I'm not sure. We might play some 3.11. We might not. Depends how I feel. I haven't got my glasses, so maybe we won't. If I find them later on. Hi. How's everyone doing? I hope you are all good and sane. Oh, I should probably make this video go live, actually. Should we make it go live? We'll make it go live once we're done. Once we're done, we'll make it go live. That makes sense, right? It's what's happening in October, / are we getting a CitizenCon thing? Which we're getting something, but it's not CitizenCon. Some bits like that, so... I know, bored beard brushing. If you'd like to ask a question in brackets during the stream, ask whatever you want. Obviously, my specialist subjects being some Star Citizen-esque knowledge, relatively good. I follow the I can read sometimes. Anything about YouTube or me as BoredGamer, or 3.11 now. Obviously, I can't tell you about what happened during the Vacati phase of 3.11, but I mean, it's pretty similar to what's happening in the first wave of PTU. 3.11, in fact, is pretty light content-wise, but it's still got some interesting gameplay there, especially with the old space station assaults, which I think will be pretty cool, and we'll try and get some of those done on live stream with me and Zin and stuff. Got a little Chris Roberts there, just having a little peek-see. Got Zin's working for me full-time now, but you'll find out all about that sort of jazz if you watch my October update later today. So, later on today, we've got, from CIG, a game dev episode for their live thing. So, they're going to be looking at some stuff with the environments. I'm not too sure what they're going to be doing. That is this week. That is this week, yeah. Exploring the use of height maps to create terrain features. So, if you want to see them use the new painting tools to create mountains and valleys and things like that, I suspect you'll learn a bit more there. But I don't think it's going to be too tangible information related to the game. A little bit behind the scenes sort of engine and procedural generation stuff. Maybe we'll find out some cool info, maybe not. That's in a couple of hours, just under a couple of hours now. So, what shall we talk about? Well, I'll go through questions in a minute. I want to probably briefly talk about... Well, let's have a look at it. Star Wars Squadrons. I've yet to play it. I was going to play it earlier. Let's make sure... It's not playing anything, is it? No. Good. So, got Star Wars Squadrons. It's currently got a mixed review. It's gone up for... So, earlier it had about a 50% score. It's now at 60%, which is good. No, it's not good. It's better than it was. So I'm assuming, as I said in my video, that this is because either it's janky, buggy, and needs some more support and polish so that it can work on people's computers. Maybe it's a crash fest. Maybe it's terrible performance, or so not mutually exclusive. It's going to be rock paper scissors with the ship combat when it's PvP, and one is clearly just better than all the others, and it'll be like everyone uses this ship. It's very, very simplistic. Blah 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 blah. That would be my expectation. I saw Salty Mike playing it earlier very briefly. It looked very basic and very simple. Reminded me very much of the Star Wars arcade experience stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you wanted just a quick sort of jump-in experience, probably very good in VR, probably quite fun and immersive, but it didn't look too complex or difficult. And maybe that's a good thing. Horrific menu. The only thing I found good about this game as of launch was that it was bad enough that I knew to ask for a refund before I played it too long. So lots of people asking for refunds. I think there's lots of joysticks problems. It says here, good things. Star Wars has good graphics. Has a good starfighter customization system. Bad things, oh boy, a mediocre story, VR problems, poorly explained mechanics, lack of content, pilot customization is crap. Okay. Some people are just angry that it's an EA game, it looks like as well. So, I mean, I'll do a bit more research into this before I buy it and dedicate some time to actually playing it. But I am planning to play it at some point. Star Wars Squadrons with Zin was the idea. But, while it's on 60%, and people are saying that it's got lots of issues, I was hoping that maybe they get resolved within the first day or two. It does not have good graphics. It's low fidelity. Okay, well that makes sense. I looked at it and went, it's like a cool Star Wars arcade game, but it's not Star Citizen. It's no Star Citizen. Star Citizen is janky and broken and buggy, but it is an alpha. Squadrons is a fully developed, finished game, but is very, very, very shallow. And that's the same problem I have with a lot of games that don't hold me interest, like No Man's Sky. Actually, No Man's Sky has got quite a bit of depth to it, but it doesn't hold my attention for the difficulty of co-op PvE. And there's no sort of proper PvP stuff in it that I could find. Maybe there is now in No Man's Sky, but last time I looked there wasn't. Squadrons, I just think maybe it's... well, I'll look at it in like a day or two properly. I think jumping into it when it's clearly got problems straight away will just be like, well, this is a janky, broken mess. Let's play Star Citizen instead. Yeah. Oh. Any news about Cloud Tech? Yeah, they're using Cloud Tech and building areas of space that you'll see very soon in-game around space stations and other points of interest. This year, you should see lots of Cloud Tech usage. So Chris Roberts is currently giving me a back massage. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Has your face lost weight? Well, yes, me and my face have lost weight. I'm doing pretty well, actually, on the old weight loss front, which is good, I think. I'm always worried about my health, which is probably a good thing, because that means I go to the doctor anytime I've done painful poo, or I've got a pain anywhere, or blurry eyesight, whatever. I'm sort of like hyper aware and go to the doctor. Okay, why? Well, a painful poo was it? Just an example. Okay, that's not happening at the moment. It's not. What do you expect from the Digital CitizenCon event? There is no... Okay, there's something happening on the 10th. Yeah? But CitizenCon is cancelled. CitizenCon was cancelled. We have something else happening on the 10th. It is not a Digital CitizenCon event. It is some... Well, they would have announced it a bit more if it was. So that's not this Saturday, next Saturday. I'm expecting something to do with the Imperator elections. I'm expecting 3.11 to go to live. I'm expecting some form of sale. I'm expecting some competitions. And I'm hoping they have some form of in-game event at the same time. Like, it'd be great if they put the Arlington Game Mission in, or the Xeno Threat missions in, something like that. Some sort of a week or two event that goes on during the Imperator elections. Maybe we're about to vote on the Imperator stuff. Imperator, whatever you say, however you say words. And they haven't announced it yet because it's going to be quite a small thing as far as I'm aware. I think I've oddly put the subject onto the wrong sort of thing there, NVIDIA. So this month's giveaway is for Mercury Star. So just comment on any videos this month to be in for a chance of winning that. Commenting during the live stream is not counted as part of that, because I can't grab those comments in the same way that I grab comments on videos. And basically the way that it works is that it random number generate, bam, a video. So like video 23, which would be my 23rd video made during that particular month. And bam, if that one's chosen, then it randomly selects a comment in there. But it only counts everyone's name once. So you could put 30 comments in the same video, and you'd only get one ticket, effectively. But you could it'd be much more sensible to put 30 comments on 30 different videos. But always try and give feedback with a comment. It helps me make better content rather than just giveaway. Although I'm sure one day someone's going to win just with lol or giveaway or give or something. Tea is good, thank you. I'm not sure why I'm thanking you. I'm not tea. I don't sell tea. Maybe I should sell tea. That's a good way of monetizing the channel, right? So the Mercury Star Runner will be in the 3.11 branch of the game. It is not going to be in 3.11.0 initial live launch. Bear that in mind. So there is no excuse for 3.11 to be less stable, yeah, than previous patches, than 3.10, say, because it's pretty light content-wise. Yes, there is a few interesting things that could cause servers to be a bit degrady when it comes to with the extra turrets around space stations and the heat system, more the heat system. So security forces now spawn in based on the amount of criminals and criminal rating in that area. Zin, you need to make a bear in mind emote. And it has to be a good one. Oh yes, someone's given me money. Tony Phillip, thank you very much for becoming a... Oh, you've become a board producer. Good man. It's given me loads of money. Very much appreciated, sir. So, yeah, that video, there's a load of people I want to thank, and I've thanked them in that video that will be coming up today at the end, because people like Sergeant Eversman and the Steampunk Devil and loads of other people have just given ridiculous amounts of money to the channel, and it helps loads. It's not essential for the channel to keep going, but it does mean that I've been able to employ Zin without worrying. And yeah, I think Star Citizen is only going to grow sort of view-wise. But also, because I've now got Zin working for me, we can explore some other options with some other games as well, in addition to normal content. So we can look at potentially doing some other stuff and expanding out the channel and expanding out the audience slightly. But I'm never going to do less Star Citizen content. It should always be more content on top of Star Citizen content if we do anything else. And I did say do. So Zin's also done a 3.11.0 state of the PTU video as well now. So I'll get those both out after this stream. Do you think we'll get any Squadron 42 info on the 10th of October? So I think the original plan was actually, if we had CitizenCon this year, I'm almost sure they're going to start a big marketing campaign for Squadron. Because I thought that actually last year, to be honest. But it made sense for them to start pushing that. And obviously then the global situation happened. It's not an excuse for them to not do it, but it makes sense that maybe they're going to wait until they have got a CitizenCon before they market Squadron 42. So what that mean, they do Squadron 42 marketing next year, next October? Well, I'd actually expect to see a proper CitizenCon early next year. So first half of next year, yeah? So with the 10th of October, yeah, some Imperator stuff, 3.11 live, ship sale, maybe a new ship to go to concept, maybe a ship that's straight to flyable, but something like maybe the RSI gunboat that's been rumoured, maybe Xi'an cargo ship, maybe mobile refinery, things like this are all possible. I'm hoping that we get some teasers. I'm hoping that we get some trailers, teasers, some pillar talk, some big major Star Citizen updates. I mean, they're almost certainly going to do a this is where Star Citizen started and this is where we are now sort of thank you to the community video. Do you know what I mean? That's almost certain, because that's what they like to do around Star Citizen's birthday. So definitely expect that. Well, I say definitely expect. I would expect that. Do you know the progress of Pyro? So you can see that you've shown a lot of that off in inside Star Citizens, and when we get the monthly report, hopefully within the a week or so, we should see it within the weekend. In fact, we should see a lot more talk of Pyro. I'm hoping that we get it in for at least some of Pyro by the end of the year. It's not confirmed, but it's not been pushed back, as it were. It's not been... CIG have not said that it's not coming this year. That is what I'm trying to say very badly. With Horizon and Crusader, for example, in the standard system, they have said that it's pushed back until 2021, with Horizon and Crusader being released in 2 parts, one for Q1 and one for Q2. Oh, people send me more money! DJ Brown, can you make Zin make Chris Roberts blink occasionally? No, but what she can do, she will actually have at some point proper control of the stream, is the hope. She can get Chris Roberts here. Do you want to get Chris here? In? Oh, hi guys, I'm Chris Roberts. Yeah, BoredGamer is probably one of my favourite content creators. I think you should all donate kindly to him. Yeah, I don't blink. Thanks, Chris. So Chris doesn't actually blink, apparently. Has anyone actually ever seen Chris Roberts blink? No. Have you got any pictures of Chris blinking? No. But do you know why? Because he doesn't blink. See? Never staring contest, that man. I didn't make him... He's not... Look, okay. Let's ask Pico. Let's ask Pico what he thinks. Yeah, Chris... Oh, no, 1 second, let me... No, I'm too big. 1 second. Yeah, I'm Pico. I don't blink either. It's Chris Roberts is right. Also, we're not Canadian. Thanks, Pico. Perfect. We've got perfect stream. Do you think that Squadron 42 Episode 1 will not be a financial request, given how everyone who wants to play Episode 1 would have bought it previously? What? What? Are you so I don't understand exactly what you mean there, Doctor, but I'm assuming you're saying, let me just try and phrase your question in a way that I can answer. Let me change your question so it's not what you originally meant. No, so hopefully you mean, is Squadron 42 not going to make them any money when it's released because everyone's already bought it that wants to play it? I think that is madness to think that. Like, pre-orders, people are less and less and less enticed by pre-orders currently. Star Citizen is nowhere near mainstream. It is very niche audience at the moment. Once it goes, look, this game is actually being released. This is a hard release date. These are the platforms it's available on. Its lack of platform support might be upsetting. What I mean by that is that it's not going to be released on Steam or Origin or anything like that, is it? It's going to be on its own platform. So you might better buy it on Good Old Games or something like that, maybe. But it's a weird one. But once it's actually on the shelf for release that you can purchase, and it's real and tangible, I think you'll get a lot of players playing it. Especially if it's good. If it gets a genuinely high review. However, it's an interesting one as well, because I do not trust any mainstream game media with reviewing stuff. It has to be third parties now. Otherwise, I just don't feel like I'm getting... I don't feel like a lot of those reviewers are actual game reviewers. They just feel like idiots to me. I'm sorry. That's not all of them, for sure. That's not all publications. But a lot of the more mainstream ones feel like they just... I don't know. Don't review the game properly. Or at least it's not for me. I should be a more sort of like, it's not for me. Maybe it's maybe that's it. But can you speak on how force reactions impact multi-crew gameplay? So it doesn't really impact multi-crew gameplay much at all at the moment. Okay, it's not if you are in a turret or your position in your ship. Yeah, if you're in a station, force reactions mean nothing to you. Yeah. If you are walking around a ship and you hit something or a missile hits you, repeatedly or whatever, you could be knocked over if you are not in a station, if you are running around the ship. In the future, that's much more interesting when you have engineers running around, when you have people trying to repair stuff, when you have people moving around to repel boarding parties, people that are doing assaults and sort of like are using dropships and stuff. That is very interesting then. But at the moment, it doesn't really impact stuff that much because most of the people running around ships are going to be in chairs or stations. Now, that's not true of everyone, for sure. Some people that are doing that sort of dropship gameplay and those org sort of like missions that they've planned and those assaults and maybe it's a shame we can't fire FPS weapons on stations, because then you could do a proper station assault on lockdown. But I think that'd be too hard to dislodge. No. What was I talking about? Yeah, so force reactions. Yeah, you can be knocked over if you're not in a seat, basically. Why do you think Squadron 42 is being kept silent and no updates? So they are working on. They are going to be sharing the roadmap for Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe in a lot more detail. They're working on that. We should see that in the next few weeks. We do still get monthly updates, quite big monthly updates from the monthly reports for both the Persistent Universe and Squadron 42, so bear that in mind. There aren't no updates. It's just not as much in the form of updates as that we would want or expect, is probably fairer to say. I can't speak for everyone exactly what they want, but I can speak for what I want and how I see it for sure. So it's not being kept silent. It's just that they're not sharing much at all with it. And the reason for that is because a lot of the work they do on Squadron 42 would be direct story and gameplay spoilers if they did start telling us about it, which I have no problem with. I don't give a damn about spoilers. Give me spoilers. Don't care. It's not going to ruin my experience, but it would ruin some other people's for sure. But expect to see Squadron 42 updates this year. And I suspect, again, some form of marketing campaign to start within the next few months. Kisses from Kangaroo Land as well. I missed that. Sorry from your White Wolf. I appreciate it. I love you too. Anyone that joins up on the YouTube join membership stuff, we are putting exclusive content out now. A few videos a month. It's sort of like Zin's test gameplay, and when we play to get B-roll and mess around in missions and stuff like that, that's the sort of stuff you'll say, some of that gameplay stuff. But please tell me if there's stuff that you would like as exclusive content if you are a member. You go the extra mile. We want to encourage people to do that and become members and to subscribe and all that sort of stuff. So tell us what you want. Hugs for board. Appreciate it. I love that. I love the love. Thanks. Thank you very much. Pillow talk or pillow talk? Well, indeed. It is pillow talk, but it is supposed to sound like pillow talk. I think you've discovered a pun. Oh, that's something that I'm doing soon. I've become even more nerdy. I know some people will find... What? Because I'm starting to play D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, 5th edition, at one of my mate's houses on Thursdays. He's gone... We've got a nice little group of socially distanced people. Sometimes we were playing online, sometimes we were playing where possible at my mate Mike's house. A load of people that are effectively vulnerable and super safe with COVID, like we're ninjas, making sure that we overly follow the rules. It's right, and we don't go out for anything else. But I'm going to be playing some D&D. If it goes really well, then in the future we might do some D&D live streams or something. Again, that's not going to probably be on the main channel or anything. That would be... We'll see. See what happens with that. But I'm going to be playing a rogue, a human rogue, and I'm going to be relatively cowardly. It's going to be nice. Do you have any predictions for sitcom demos or live stream this year, Board? So, not really, because I don't think we're going to get much in the way of anything this year, as I said. So, with CitizenCon being cancelled this year, we'll still have something on the 10th of October, probably some stuff to do with the Imperator elections, probably 3.11 going live, probably a bit of a sale and a celebration for Star Citizen's birthday, probably a video on this is where Star Citizen started and where it is now, and thanks to the community and some community stuff. I'm hoping we have some form of in-game event, but I don't think it will be anything too big or too mad. I'm a very creative role player when it comes to things like that, so I don't really care about min-maxing or anything like that. I do silly things, well, not silly things, inventive things to get out of situations. The idea of playing a rogue that's got a load of just utility, but also pretty good in combat is super useful. I mean, there could be some form of gameplay or some form of teaser. I would love a Squadron 42 teaser. I would love a near soon gameplay teaser. That would be absolutely fantastic if we did get that. You've got to remember that we're pretty close to the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo as well. That's coming around the end of November, so there's probably going to be stuff saved up for that. And it's hard to tell exactly what CIG want to do because they haven't told us. Expect some competitions and things like that as well. The turret targeting isn't working perfectly at the moment. They don't shoot at you on the ground, which is weird. I did think they had fixed that though. I haven't watched Morph's new video yet. I will at some point. It's been a while since I looked into this game. Do they still have server resets? And do you lose everything you earned? So there may still be server resets in the future. However, they now have a long-term persistent database, which means that they try, where possible, to keep all your ships and stuff that you've earned in-game, all your monies, and transfer it to the next patch. So much less in the way of resets. No resets every major patch, and where possible, they keep it. So the expectation is that we'll be keeping our stuff in 3.11. Do you think 4.0 will be on the roadmap when 3.11 releases? So I wouldn't expect any more major roadmap updates until the new roadmap system is added, which will be within the next few weeks anyway. That's what it looks like. So that's the new roadmap showing sprints, what team's working on what, details and a bit more feature and a breakdown of those features for Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe that they've got planned. And that should be pretty soon. It's possible that 4.0 will be what 3.12 is this year. So basically they're saving the moniker of 4.0 specifically for when Pyro is in game. And they've got jump points in Pyro. So that makes sense that if they are trying to push that for this year, then that will be 4.0. But it depends on whether they get Pyro, and even if it's just a little bit Pyro, by the end of the year. That'd be great if they can. Robert Johnston, thank you so much, sir. I can't just say feck off. I have to write a longer message before it will send, so here it is. Thanks. The only man that will send me hundreds of dollars to tell me to go feck myself. Thank you so much, sir. It's people like you that have made the channel what it is, which is me begging for money while people tell me to go feck myself. No, thank you. Thank you very much, Robert Johnston. You are a legend and a star, and I hope I thanked you in the video that's going to come out soon. I would assumed I did. I hopefully did. If not, I'll have to give you a special message separately. Can't remember if I thanked the super chatters now. I think I did. I did. Let's just say I did. Thank you so much. Okay. I think I'm the worst. No, maybe not the worst, but I don't think I'm. I'm certainly not a great streamer, but I do appreciate the love I get. Maybe it's because I'm an everyman streamer, every person streamer, every woman streamer, every single woman. I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm not even sure that's a song. I'm developing my own song. Any leak or prediction on salvage? I mean, so I think the first iteration of salvage will be physicalized components coming in, and that will be the removal of a component out of someone else's ship, maybe even using the cutting tool to remove weapons off a ship, bam, and taking them back to your ship using like the gravity tool on the multi-tool that they're building, or moving it by hand. I think that's going to be salvage tier 0. And I think that's also basically going to be repair tier 0. And I think it's going to be as early as 3.12, well, the end of this year or Q1 2021. It's my expectation for that. Oh, I did not turn off my emails. I back far too many things on Kickstarter. I'll tell you that now. I like Kickstarter. But I just want to say again, Robert Johnston, I love you. You're the best. DJ Brown upgraded channel membership to King of Channel. Oh, you monster. So, I'll tell you what. With the different channel rewards, we're trying to make them all in sync with the Patreon rewards as well. So it doesn't matter if the people Patreon or join on the YouTube channel membership stuff. We sort of like make the rewards in parallel, mirror them. You know what I mean. But we haven't got enough good rewards for the higher tiers, and so obviously King of Channel is the top. That's top tier. Yeah, like Chris, he'd be King of a Channel. You'll make my king. Long live the king. Long live DJ Brown. Thank you so much, sir. But yeah, well, I'll talk to Zin literally after the stream about what can we give King of Channel membership people. We're going to give them a little bit more, but it's sort of like you get a better badge, and you've got some more emotes, and you've got access to Discord with a little King of Channel thing. I need to give more. We need to give more because I want people to go, you know what I want to do with my hard-earned cash, and lots of it? I want to give it to that egg-headed fella. I think he talks some sense. That's what I want. Thank you so much. Genuinely appreciated, sir. Star. It's not Creeper Chris. It makes me feel safe. He's got my back. Yeah? If like a hunter of Left 4 Dead 2 jumped on me, bam, Chris would be there staring it in the eyes, and it would just leap back. Say something about a scam and jump off. So I've been playing a load of Left 4 Dead 2 again recently, because they had the Last Stand update and a load of extra achieves. And Zin and her partner DC and Kit, one of my other best mates, they all played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 when they were younger. And I can say that now because it was like, what, 9 years ago or something? Left 4 Dead 2 is quite a while ago. And they played a lot of that and got like all of the achieves and were very good at it. So with the new achieves, we're trying to get them all. And it's some of the stuff's pretty difficult. Doing a campaign on expert realism is pretty difficult. Not impossible, but it is pretty difficult. Oh, thank you very much for all the love. There's lots and lots of messages saying, "Oh, Bod, I love you. Oh, Bod, you're so sexy. Oh, Bod, make love to me." It's might not say that exact thing, but I read between the lines and read between the accents. What else have we got here? Lots of people send me money. That's all good. Question, that's not what G-Bird means. It means no 30Ks when transporting cargo. What? What are you talking about? Did I answer something from J-Bird? I would like to see a way of protecting people that get 30Ks with their ships and reclaiming their ships. And I think with iCash we may get something. I'm hoping what we get is, if you 30K, if your server crashes or you get disgracefully disconnected, that you are able to reclaim your ship from the nearest spaceport or where you woke up from, but it's got an impound fee associated with it and a little bit of time before you get it back. So you don't lose the cargo, is the idea. But you need to make it so that... Sorry, I've just seen what Miso Wet has said. So... Get out of here. They've made me all flustered now. I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. So, you need to make it so people can't abuse it for combat logging, but as long as eventually people can't abuse it for combat logging, as opposed to the main thing. Game is alpha for a reason. Don't mind if people are going, there's huge exploits here. Oh, what are we going to do about them? We're going to fix them before the game goes live, or before the game goes to no more resets. So. What else have we got? How do you think they will introduce smuggling illegal cargoes past AI police scans? So there's going to be different routes you can take to avoid police. There's going to be cargo containers, boxes, and items that you can use, and bits like that, so that you can avoid police scans. There's going to be potentially distractions and things like that you can do as well. So the idea is there's going to be ways of dealing with the police if they turn up. But some of it will be, well, you weren't prepared enough. Now you're going to have your cargo taken away from you. You're going to have it confiscated. And that will be on you. Like, risk-reward. Do you try and mitigate some of that risk by having a better type of cargo container? Or by putting these different types of sensor on, or spoofing things, or going a different route that's going to take you a while longer. Happy Friday, Mr. Sparrow. So we got When you quantum travel around Crusader and are not in a seat, you will die due to the gravity of the planet in the past. Also, vehicles explode. Do you think this was the first part of Force Reactions? No, I do not. I do not think that was the first part. You're not supposed to implode when you go into quantum. Yes, if it was real life and they didn't have some sort of inertial dampening, your flesh would rip off. Can we have... I suppose it's weird, though, as well, because obviously we don't have good enough inertial dampening, because missiles can jostle you around, but maybe it's because it's unsolicited impact? I don't know the words I'm trying to use. Can we have our own building or departments with landing pads in Star Citizen? So, yes. Not yet, but yes in the future. So there is... a vehicle, the Pioneer, which literally allows you to build outposts, like the outposts that we've got in-game at the moment, but these outposts will be able to have function, so you'll be able to have them, they'll be able to get power and all this sort of stuff, and you might have them for storage, you might have them for mining, you might have them for lots of different things, but you could effectively be able to build bases with that. Also, you should be able to rent or buy hubs and hangars in-game, and there might be some other interesting building options they put in the future. So, yes, you will be able to have your own bases and buildings. When do you think the Mercury Star Runner will be flyable? So, it's going to be in a 3.11.x build. I would expect maybe a month after. So, I would expect it by halfway through November. Maybe November. November, halfway through November seems reasonable. Did you get your 3090 board? No, I'm buying a 3080 specifically because it's much better price pointed to what I need it for. There's no point in me having a 3090 when I'm not going to be using it properly. I might as well buy me a 3080 and Zin a 3080, so both me and my editor have the same hardware. That's the idea at the moment, West. Or B West. Oh, don't get sick, we need your vids. Even if I was sick, I'd make videos still. I'd just be either slower or derpier, or my voice would be a bit different. But I'd still make videos. I'd probably still stream. Okay. For some people, streaming and video creation is very hard because of various reasons. For some people, it's very easy. For me, it's an outlet. It's something I desperately want to do because it keeps me stable. It keeps me occupied. It keeps me focused. It keeps me happy. It keeps me not being depressed or anxious. And, you know, it also pays the bills. So I really like doing it. So even if I was pretty ill, I'd still do it. If I was unable to do it for some reason, that would make me sad. Do you think these turret platforms are just a test for the Nautilus? Yes, so those turrets, the size 6 turrets, which are the ones that are also that are now defending stations, which are also used for the Claim Jumpers missions, they are very similar to what I expect we will see from the Nautilus's drones. I heard that Nautilus was going to be fast-tracked for Squadron's needs. So as far as I'm aware, it wasn't necessarily the Nautilus that was being fast-tracked, but its mines were being fast-tracked. Maybe it is the Nautilus as well. Oh, I want to see a series. I'm not even going to repeat that, Jonathan Treasure. I want to see a series where someone examines all the beautiful landing gear in the game. I like it. You'll think 4.0 could be the biggest patch of this year? Well, 3.12 most likely will be the biggest patch of this year. That's what I'm expecting. That's not a confirmation, that's just an expectation. And it could be called 4.0 if they have Pyro in that. What games do you think can actually challenge Star Citizen? I don't know. There's no other games that do Star Citizen, what Star Citizen wants to do in the same way. There are games that are slightly similar, like Eve has a load of the sort of like the scope of what Star Citizen wants to do. Elite Dangerous does some of what Star Citizen wants to do in a much more shallow, less fidelity type, less economy-based way, less adventure-y, but it's very similar. No Man's Sky is hugely about the exploration element, which Star Citizen's not going to do in the same way. So there's lots of games like that. Do we have many games at the moment that do proper ship combat? Well, you'd certainly argue at the moment Star Citizen doesn't, but that's what it plans to do. So it plans to do like that ship combat, and then this huge amount of like Eve scope of gameplay, all in first person. You as the character being able to affect the economy rather than actually being player led. It's going to be player influenced, because there's going to be a huge simulation behind it, and it's all about adventuring and doing whatever role or roles you want to do, and being able to do that just for the weekend, or constantly play it like a proper life sim. They're all about the immersion. Yeah, I'm playing the BTU, and I have found a flight mechanics for Levski are a bit funny. I was landing a Hawk in a hangar, and found I dropped like a rock. Changed to flight mechanics. Well, there has been a change to flight mechanics. The reason you drop like a rock when you're in the hangar is because you're in Levski, yeah, so there's very low gravity, and then as soon as you get to the hangar, it's basically a different gravity. So, and the gravity is much harder. You'll fall more fully. So yeah, we are indeed getting Nerf guns. Nerf guns in 3.11 confirmed. Quite genuinely. I'm hoping this is going to be the first stage of being able to fire guns in armistice zones. I got a welcome membership email in Chinese. What? How weird. Question. Not knowing anything about how they will implement the exploration gameplay personally apart from jump point chartering, what do you know about the scope of exploration? I've heard so much theory crafting about it, how they can resolve... how can they resolve the fact we're in a finite universe? Well, there's explorers on Earth still today, so there's lots of missions and things that can be done with exploration or exploration mechanics. So the way I understand exploration and what I expect from it is that there's going to be lots of points of interest beyond the star system. So you've got the edge of Stanton at the moment, but what if you keep on going? Well, the expectation I have is that you'll be scanning down points of interest, and then travelling to points of interest, and scanning down more points of interest, and keep on going. And potentially you could keep on going for a long time. So yes, there's going to be the potential for wormholes that give you different routes to get to other systems, like but more quickly or in a different odd route. There's going to be interesting sort of asteroid fields or salvage sites or weird alien tech or black holes or anomalies and lots of things like that you can do as part of exploration, but also finding things on planets. But it's going to be more scanning things and more science aspect on planets. So that's what I foresee. So sort of the exploration mechanics are more sort of like scanning things down, finding things. You're finding things and mapping. You're cartographers. You're that sort of exploration and explorer. Hot take: Amazon should buy RSI and take what they've built to pivot it to an Expanse-themed game. Oh my god! I think maybe one day we will see something called Expanse-wise with Lumberyard. I mean, I think that Amazon probably have access to a lot of the StarEngine, or will in the future. Plastic Death! Thank you very much, sir. Please, I think I referred to you as Plastic D in a video that will be coming out after the stream. So apologies. And actually, I may have just called you Plastic. How do you think long voyages will play out with supplies? Will we be able to... Victual? Will we be able to... So, the idea is that you'll be able to take, eventually you'll be able to take food and drink and supplies with you, and if those ran out, you'd have to get them, you'd have to try and get supplies as quick as you could, but you'll be able to get it from planets and other places that you're visiting typically. Maybe there's ways of creating it in space to a degree based on what systems you've got. They haven't really talked about exactly how long supplies and things like that will last, how that's going to affect NPC crew if you run out, and we don't really know yet. But thank you very much for the money, sir. Very much appreciated. I can ask CIG a bit more about that, actually. That's a very good question that I can prod people about. Is there no CitizenCon or any sort of presentation? So there's no CitizenCon this year. No presentation as far as I'm aware. We might see a community video. We might see some other teasers and bits like that. So... yeah, so cargo's pretty dangerous. Cargo running's pretty dangerous in Star Citizen because of the 30Ks. Oh, you're at Cobra TV, mate. Hope you're doing well, sir. It's nice to see you here. Never cross the streams. That's true. Will they change mineable instability to local machine instead of the server? So, that's an interesting question. I would like everything server authoritative where possible that doesn't cause problems and lag. Now, there are issues with changing anything like that, like mining and stuff like that, or anything really to client side. Yes, it makes it quicker. Well, at least it makes it a much more a pleasant experience for you, but it's very exploitable as soon as it becomes client side. So it's an interesting one. Hopefully they'll be able to get it solved without making stuff client side, but some stuff might have to be made client side, and then they need to have interesting ways that they deal with logs and people hacking and people exploiting in the future. Do you see what I mean? But I know what you mean with the lag when you're doing mining stuff and it just janks up and you're like, come on. What do you think about the Star Runner? So I love the Star Runner as a ship. It's probably my third favourite ship. Third favourite ship, I'd say, at the moment. I love the Carrack. Carrack's my first. Then Reclaimer. Then probably the Mercury Star Runner. Then I think the Banning Merchantman. Probably. It changes. How long until this game is essentially a scam? Probably, 13 more days? What do you mean? Selling us ships to fly around a half-baked simulation. It's an alpha. I mean, it's a really slow, shitty burn when it comes to its development. And pardon my French. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while, sir. So bear that in mind. I'd say if we haven't had much movement in 3 years, you could go, this game's not going anywhere, they can't do what they want. But it's never going to be a scam. A scam would suggest that they never had any intention of producing a game. They're clearly trying to make the game. They've got 600 employees or so making a game. As I've said before, it would be like going, how do we scam people into thinking we're going to the moon? Let's build a rocket that can actually go to the moon. Good idea. That will make them think we've gone to the moon. Like, come on. You know it's not a scam. But you can argue that it's inefficient, and they might not deliver on what they say they're going to be able to deliver on, and there's concerning aspects of Star Citizen, and the development's taking too long, and you don't like these mechanics or whatever. I think that's reasonable to say. Seems they're working on commercials. What? They haven't really made any ship commercials for ages. They occasionally make one for new ships as part of like promotions and stuff, but I don't see that anymore. That's an old style complaint of CIG. Them just making new ships and trailers for them. That's an old thing. That's not their current direction. So you say ignore the trolls. I don't know for sure if this gentleman is trolling or not. And he's allowed to have an opinion, and he's allowed to share that, and he's allowed to vent. if it becomes obvious to me that they are there just to go, no, gotcha sort of attempts, or no, it's they only do this, or if there's an agenda that they're trying to push rather than them trying to have a conversation, or if they're clearly trolling or whatever, then yeah, maybe I'll ignore them, or more likely I'll go, you have lost the right to chat in my channel because you're not being civil or you're being a douche. But I don't want to dismiss people's comments as they are trolling every time, or any time, especially immediately. Unless I know they're one of my friends, in which case I guess they probably will be trolling. I prime subbed to you a few months back, and instead of being able to sub you or someone else, it always grayed out. Any idea why this has happened? I don't know. I want you to sub to me. I want you to only sub to me forever, Wang Shu. Cyberpunk plays like a game. What? Cyberpunk's not out. What are you talking about? What? Have you got access to Cyberpunk? Give me Cyberpunk. Don't care about anything else now. I want Cyberpunk. Very excited for Cyberpunk. I don't think you have access to Cyberpunk. I think you're talking crap. What are your odds for Pyro at the end of the year? That's a good question. I think it's very possible. I think Cloud Imperium haven't ruled it out for a reason, and I think that this month's monthly report, based on, so we should have that by the end of next week, that will suggest to us whether or not they're going to have Pyro in a state that's playable, or they're going to try and get it in or not by the end of the year. Now, the amount of work they've done pushing on Pyro suggests to me that they're trying to get some of Pyro in by the end of the year. But that is very much a hope even than an expectation. From what we saw in Inside Star Citizen, javelins are designed to dock with extendable docking arms, but that's true of any of the larger ships. So they're made with the same metrics for the docks. So obviously they've tried them out because of the Invictus Flight Week stuff with javelins and Idris more readily. Will they be changed to add docking arms to security decks, or maybe another idea my small brain can't fathom? Just because as an armchair dev, they seem to serve a very similar purpose. You should see just similar metrics on ships when they're docking. Not all ships will be able to ship to station dock. They'll be landing on landing pads or going in hangars. The smaller ones. I'm interested as well, like, of people that follow Star Citizen / Squadron 42's development, how many people are mostly into Star Citizen or mostly into Squadron 42? I'm sort of like, if they had to cancel one, which one? And you got, say you got all your money back, yeah? So let's start with that. So you got all your money back, and they went, oh, really sorry, we've got to cancel one. Have all your money back, yeah. Which one do you now want? Yeah. I'll do it as a poll at some point. This is an exercise in curiosity from my sort of brain. Let's not forget they had to build a company and a game. That's true. They did build a company, and they did expand quite rapidly. And they had failures while they were becoming a company. Like they put. I'm not sure what happened with Ilphonic and some of their contractors, but. I'm not sure whose fault it is what I should say, but Ilphonic made all the first-person shooter module stuff that they wanted from ages ago when they had like the Ender's Game mode stuff and the original Star Marine stuff and all that sort of stuff. Made it the wrong size and wrong metrics, and they had to bin it all. It's like over a year's worth of work, and that could have been that could have been Star Citizen's CIG's fault, that could have been Ilphonic's fault, or a mixture of the two's fault. Or maybe it was no one's fault, but it's certainly a waste of development time. And there's some interesting things like that. How can I make it so the game doesn't suck the life out of my CPU? So at the moment, the 3.11 PTU has a CPU problem that they are trying to solve, and that should be solved with 3.11 live build. Also, their Gen 12 renderer and Vulkan support and stuff should make it a lot more scalable. I don't know what your CPU is. If it's an older quad core or something like that, then you're going to have problems and you're going to be very much bottlenecked at your CPU. If it's newer, sort of 6th gen later, you should be borderline okay. And then sort of 8th gen and i7s and beyond are typically pretty good. The game is not properly optimized for multi-threads yet, but they are working on that. I think last time they talked about it, they had 30 threads working for their Gen 12 system effectively. But I think there's still going to be like a jobs core, like I think at the moment your third core or your third thread is very aggressively used for physics, and I'm not sure how they separate physics onto multiple cores. I'm not sure how they can do that. So it'd be interesting to see the limitations of their engine when they've optimized it a bit. Also, if you want to see some ways of optimizing your setup for Star Citizen, go on my website, boardgamer.co.uk. There's some guides there for optimization of Windows 10, which I do need to update, admittedly, and Star Citizen, and use.cfg guides and stuff like that can all help. How will insurance work in terms of a ship if you've paid real-life money for it and it's only got 6 months insurance? So if it gets destroyed basically after those 6 months, we don't know what happens yet. They haven't 100% confirmed. So there have been statements of you would just lose it if you hadn't got insurance after those 6 months, but you can obviously buy in-game insurance for a very minimal amount for the hull. Or they might have statutory insurance on ships, so you'd get it back, but you might have to pay some of the cost towards it, or it might take a while to get it back. So we don't 100% know yet. It's a minimal cost to get insurance for ships, as far as we're aware, from what CIG have said. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, whether your ship's got 6 months insurance or lifetime insurance or whatever. Also, I think that it's only going to cover the hull of the ship, so the basic default hull. And I think that is actually going to be a small amount of the cost of the actual ship once you've outfitted your ship with all the gubbins that you want. So your military Class A weapons and gear and subcomponents and all that sort of jazz, that's what's going to cost a lot of money. And that's probably what you're going to want to insure. And we're assuming there's going to be a robust insurance system for that. Any objections to throwing Flymo Ninja under a lawnmower? Yes, there is. The reasons I don't want that is because he watches my stuff quite a lot, and I like Flymo. Thanks, Flymo. I love you, Maya, as well. You know, you get my love. Keep Star Citizen all out of a career. What? What are we doing? What's going on? I think... Maya, I'm looking forward to playing some more Among Us with you again. I enjoy that. I enjoy Among Us with you guys. It's a good laugh. Hope you're doing well, sir. And I need to get you, Moistudoodle, and some of the others as well to actually play some Star Citizen with, because, you know, we're Star Citizen content creators, and we play more Among Us together than we do Star Citizen. Is the C2 going to happen before the end of the year? I love the idea of having something that you can stand up to pirates in a bit more. So the expectation is that the Hercules C2 will be part of the 3.12 patch. However, it's not on the roadmap yet. It looks that way, but CIG haven't said yes. What else have we got here? Definitely, taking these quotes out of context. Definitely cancel Squadron 42. Is Squeaky Voice board game the best board game? I haven't pressed my Squeaky Voice button on my thing, have I? No, good. Got a Roland VT, which I just don't use properly. I haven't heard anything about the Endeavour for a while. Have you heard anything, Board? Estimates when we might see it? I think it's going to be one of the last ships they make, because it's quite a large science ship, and that's quite complex gameplay. Unless it's needed for Squadron 42 for some reason. So I keep hearing stuff about the new style of roadmap, but all I can find is the old style of roadmap. Is this something that's coming up, or just missing the obvious button somewhere? No, so the new style of roadmap that was talked about recently, they showed like a picture of it. The idea of the road...
I have been lurking for a while and now wish to contribute to your channel. Well done, BoredG.
Thank you very much. Very much appreciated, Skullface. the more than welcome to lurk. And there's many other ways of helping the channel beyond donating. But money is always appreciated. Give kindly to BoredGamer. No, wait, no. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Oh, you star. Thank you, sir. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, so the new roadmap. So they've got new style of roadmap. They've showed a picture of it, but it's not available for us to look at properly yet. We should see it properly and implemented within the next few weeks, but we're not sure exactly when, and then they're going to be using that to show updates for Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe in a lot more detail, with much more accuracy and a lot better breakdown of the sprints, so literally seeing what they're doing every 2 weeks in a lot more detail as well, so very useful, apparently. Well, it looks like it's going to be significantly better than what we've previously had, and as long as Cloud Imperium can stay up on updating it, and actually updating it accurately, great. I think there's always a worry that Cloud Imperium will go, yeah, loads of better communication, we're getting good at communication again, we're showing off the roadmaps again, it's awesome, oh, and everyone's like, yes, great, and then they start pulling it back and doing it a bit half-heartedly, or a bit trashy, or they lose the line of communication briefly, and then it sort of like becomes a bit of a trudge. There's ups and downs with Cloud Imperium's communication, for sure. And they've now, after some complaining at least, they've got really good on Spectrum and posting sort of updates to lots of stuff. Like, there's a huge amount of devs, dev responses, and people like Molly and people posting things about that's happening with updates that are coming in 3.11 that we didn't know about, with like the missile system and the new law system and loads of stuff like that. And I was like, this is great. This is awesome. There's loads of content here. What is your best guess to what the rumoured Odin will sell for? So I think people said maybe it was a 100-metre gunboat, which is pretty big. So maybe Hammerhead prices? It's a gunboat? Would it be like more forward-facing, big, like anti-ship weaponry rather than the Hammerhead's turrets, maybe? Just rumours at the moment, really. Star Citizen roadmap should be updated today. I think they classically update it around 8 PM BST, so 7, 8 or 9 PM UTC sort of time. I think BoredGame's Egghead is a scam, and he's trying to make us feel sorry for him, so we'll give him more money. No. Why do you even say that? I've got a weird shaped head, okay? Give kindly. Hey Bored, what's the chance of me getting a Polaris with the limited ship sales coming in November? There's certainly a chance. I don't think it's going to be as aggressively limited like the Idris and the Javelin will be when they sell them again. Almost certainly sell them again. I think there's a high likelihood you'll be able to get a Polaris. What else have we got here? Oh, I'll tell you what we've got here. No more music. Christy Fleming, using your referral code in my stream. That is bad form. Bad form, sir or madam. I played Ender's Game mode at PAX Boston years ago. Shame it was cut from the game. See, that's really... I've not actually talked to anyone about the Ender's Game mode that's actually played it. Well, at least I've... Yeah. But that's interesting. I mean... I suppose it would have been relatively fun. Looked relatively cool. It was obviously... It's going to be a bit dated. I really would like to see... Star Marine and Arena Commander get a little tiny bit of love as well. I suppose they're working mostly on theatres of war. Which old ships do you think will go up in price and why? I don't think we'll see much in the way of ships going up in price this Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Hopefully not, anyway. The ones that are most likely to go up in price, in my opinion, are things like the old ships, like the Bounty Merchantman. Something like that is much more likely to go up in price. Because it is an old legacy ship at a very cheap price for its size. We need a Theatres of War update. I totally agree. I think that they're going to be having a Theatres of War test in the next few weeks after 3.11 comes out. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't have an Bacardi test or more testing for Theatres of War during the 3.10 branch, but it could be because they were like, there's some problems that we have to solve and we can't solve them until X. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to go for a poo-poo-pee-pee-wee-wee. Mon Dieu. Jay, you're in charge. Ice cream van. Oh, ice cream. Oh, me. Wish I could have ice cream. Can't have ice cream on my diet. I'm not allowed to have any of the nice things in the world. AMA, all my adventures. I like that more. Right, what else have we got? Is there any updates on multiple accounts, NPC wingman, and agent smithing? Not really, no. I think they sort of implied that agent smithing probably wouldn't be a thing, but we'll have to wait and see. I suspect we'll get another statement on CIG a little bit further in the future with that. NPC wingman, I actually suspect we'll have those in game relatively soon. NPC is a part of missions. They're working on AI blade type AI, well, computers and their AI blades in the game. And then after that, you'll probably have NPC crewmen, but that will be a while after that. What do extra game packages give you on your account? More character slots, maybe. Can you use those character slots as NPCs? We don't know. We need a proper rundown from CIG of exactly how they foresee all of this stuff working in detail and confirmed. I'm glad people enjoyed the Among Us video. Thank you. Any chance we'll be able to walk around the streets in major cities outside the current enclosed areas? Yes, but you're not going to be able to... Very likely that you'll be able to walk around more around cities, and more areas in cities, and more areas on planets. But you're not going to be able to walk around the full interior of a planet or huge areas or anything like that. There might be some huge areas, but it's not going to be everywhere. What has a big, beautiful head? Thank you. Thank you for keeping it respectful. Thanks, J-Bird. You're a great mod. You and Shite are great mods. Thanks. The rest of you, you're right as well. Do you know what time the roadmap roundup hits? Probably about 4 or 5 hours would be my expectation. What's your thoughts on the Mercury Star Runner rework? It looks cool, but I need it in my hands really to be able to work out what size it is and how it looks, because I've only seen the holograms and some of the pictures, and that's not enough to go on yet. Now, I want it to keep fast and agile for its size is what I'd like to see. Any update on any time frame for Connies? They're in a bad way at the moment, buggy, etc. There's been lots of tweaks and improvements for 3.11 to them. In the last year's CitizenCon, we saw cool little mini boy boxes with a suit inside. In the future, we'll be able to manually place stuff like that. Yes, the reason to do that might be that armor gets degraded when you're wearing it, or you can't sit in every station while you've got armor on, or use stuff appropriate with armor on, or you're quite slow with armor on. There might be a load of different artificial reasons they impose that you're not going to want to wear your armor constantly. Especially like maybe you're running around to repair part of the ship or whatever, and you want to land as quickly as you can. Things like that. And with physicalized components, that's true of physicalized components. When you have physicalized inventory fully in, you're only going to be able to carry on you what's on you. You're not going to be able to have magic bags of holding anymore where you can just switch your equipment around. So you're going to have to, you can't have suits of armor on you beyond the suit of armor you're wearing, or maybe you're able to carry one as well. Do you get the voiceover for Uncle Funk yet? Is that Daymar Dreams? I think I have. I'm not sure if I've cleaned it. I'm not sure if I've sent it. I'll check after the... If that's the one you're talking about, I know that I've got it on my list of things to do. I'm not sure if I've actually done it. Speaking of Idris, what do you make of the laser package with the size 10 weapon? Oh, so the Idris K. Sounds really cool. It means that they've confirmed beam weapons properly being in game. Yeah, looks cool. If you've got an Idris M, you're not gonna need that package. You're probably not even gonna want it. Maybe you will, because you're a completionist. But if you've got an Idris P, and you're looking to make it something towards an Idris M, then that's the time to get that Idris K package. What is the worst part of this upcoming patch? Something that's not optimized. At the moment, its CPU optimization is fucking awful. So people's CPUs cap out pretty aggressively. That's the worst thing in the patch at the moment. Stability's not great, but it is PTU. Do you think the ship-to-station docking that's being worked on could release in conjunction with another capital ship being flyable? Maybe the Kraken or something. Not that I'm aware of. Some people are saying, or maybe the whole sea at the same time, or maybe a big ship. It's possible they've got a big ship ready. And things like the 890 jump, though, are going to be able to make use of it straight away, I would expect. Are you going to do any live streams or videos for Star Wars Squadrons? I literally talked about that at the beginning of the stream. At the moment, it's only... Well, it had 50% this morning. View score on Steam. I was like, So I'm assuming there's some technical bugs and stuff. I'm going to do a bit of research. And then when it's in a playable state, me and Zina will be playing some multiplayer. I'm only interested in the multiplayer. Do you think we'll see the whole series on sale anytime soon? Yes, Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. 23rd of November, I expect, around that time. With all the content of the Aegis Redeemer, do you think do you think they're secretly working on it and hinting at its release? They've said it's not in active development at the moment, haven't they? So it would have to be very secret. Have you heard why they took the new Babbage hostess hologram out of the dress and put her appearance in game in pants and a jacket? She was quite lovely in a dress. She was! She was good in a dress. They didn't need to put her in a suit and jacket. Maybe they're just trying different outfits out. With physicalized components and the physical damage system, do you expect an AP round that could penetrate the cockpit and kill the pilot? Yes, I think that will happen, but very rarely. But I think that armor-piercing rounds are likely not to be able to pierce shields. Do you see what I mean? You'd have to take the shields down first, and then you've got a potential of being able to kill people on board ships once the physical damage system has the projectile passing through the ship. But you wouldn't kill them, though. I think that's the other thing. You'd have them out bleeding out. Yeah? You're not just going to be instant KO dead. You're going to be stunned, knocked out, be able to jab yourself with a medipen to get back up, but you need attention, or people will be able to drag you and stabilize you and stuff. Yeah? I think that's the idea there. What's the floating head there? Did I leave... If I ruined the magic of Chris Roberts' floating head? Did I ruin it? Any information on the Constellation Taurus yet? I'm expecting it for the end of this year. They've been working on the P52-72 docking procedure with the Constellation and the Constellation series as well, which I would expect and I'm hoping for by the end of the year. Who you are going to vote for in the Imperator election? I would tell you, I'm voting for... who was it I was voting for? Was it Charade I was going to vote for? Or LaSalle, or Charade, I think. Charade. Were the two that I was looking at and sort of like listed. I'm not a massive fan of Costigan. People that want a rundown on UE candidates, there was this amazing post, which I'll show up on the screen, which I'll be doing, using as one of my sources for a video. So basically, I had all this cool information, Imperator Candidate Information Center, and it goes through the different candidates and roughly what their policies are, and then a link to the sources for it. So who was Ludius, this gentleman, Gibby's, whatever he says. But yeah, it's really well done, quick, sensible post for telling you who these people are, what they sort of want in game. Great. Yeah. So check that out, potentially. I'll be doing a video on a summary of all that jazz anyway soon. What's the greatest question that you'd like to get an answer for at the moment from Star Citizen people? I don't know. I need to really sit down and think about that. I'd love to ask Chris, how has your vision evolved since you originally envisioned Star Citizen? How has that evolved? What's that allowed you to do? How has that changed? And how has that changed over the years? And in what sort of stages? And how do you feel that's going now? Like, do you think it's going to evolve more? Or are you on track now to do what you wanted to do? Is this your magnum opus? I talked to Aaron at this at length at the pub, and he's like, this is going to be like my final major game series that I'm probably going to do. And it's like, okay, so it's like I've got like a magnum opus left in me, and I think this is it. Like, cool. That sounds really cool and positive, and something that I think we can all aspire to. Maybe, I don't know. It's a weird one. There's loads of questions I'd like to ask, but I don't know what would be the one I want answered if I could have any one answered. Will the Talon move its wings depending on speed, angle, and atmosphere? We're not sure what maneuverability its wings are going to have, but it's going to be good in atmosphere. I've heard a lot of the term Theatres of War a lot. What is it exactly? So Theatres of War is the game mode, which is like Star Marine and Arena Commander crossed together. It's Battlefield, basically. Battlefield objective-based gameplay. So 2 teams, 20v20, fighting each other on objectives, moving in, and then it's quick games. Is the idea. And it's ground warfare, vehicles, flying around space. It's in a large area, but it's like a large battlefield area. It's not the whole of a star system. I want the Redeemer. Bad. Brings back alien memories for me. When will I get it? So the Redeemer, we don't know when we're getting. We don't know. We don't know what their priority is for that. Obviously, they've done some work to it. We saw the updated concept work to it. But I'd say it's at least 3/4 out, in my opinion. So, end of first half of 2021 at the earliest. Hey BG, looking forward to gameplay loops facilitated by Anvil Crucible, specifically physicalized repairs. I mean, I'm looking forward to that mechanic being in game. I'm not a massive fan of that form of large-scale hull repair, I don't think. I mean, if it's got interesting components to it, maybe I will be. Sorry if this is a misunderstanding, but are they planning on getting rid of Port Orsay? As far as I'm aware, yes. It'll be being replaced with one of the new modular space stations. It is an old legacy asset like the Cryastro stations. Are there any atmospheric jetpack gameplay mechanics coming to the game? So we've got EVA jetpacks, or the little boosty packs. There is going to be some way of surviving in atmosphere when you eject from your craft. Whether that's going to be a little jump pack, whether that's going to be a chair, whether that's going to be a parachute, whether that's going to be very strong boots, we don't know, but something. Do I think we're going to be able to be flying around with jetpacks? Maybe some sort of low gravity jump pack thing. That would be cool, but they certainly haven't confirmed that. So there's no new information on the Titan suits. I'm still keenly awaiting their arrival. Our Sergeant Zeversman! Or Sergeant S3v3. I am live, indeed, sir. Ian 3.11 does party chat show in the new UI. It is broken currently. The chat system is currently broken and doesn't work sometimes. Does work other times. They do want that in. They do want that in and working for 3.11 live, as far as I'm aware. I gave you some, I was massaging your ego earlier, Serge. But you've missed it now. There's a video coming out straight after I finish streaming, so I will finish streaming relatively soon, because I want to get that out, which is October update, what we're expecting on the 10th so far. I mean, obviously I'll update that further when we have more hard information from CRG, what you can expect content-wise from me, what we can expect from 3.11, all that sort of jazz. When do you think we will have to purchase... When do you think we will have to purchase the winning ships recently voted for to qualify for the CitizenCon skin? So I think any time up to the end of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. I don't think it's a CitizenCon skin. I think it's an Intergalactic Aerospace Expo skin. So that's going to probably start around the end of November and then be on for a couple of weeks. So you've got until like early-ish December to purchase those. That would be my expectation. Do you know if the asteroid's main belt or Yella not being able to be mined, scanned in 3.11 is fixed? I would expect the minables to be working and be in a much better state when it comes to asteroids and that sort of stuff in 3.11. I can't confirm whether it's fixed yet or will be fixed for the live build because we don't have it in our hands yet and stuff breaks. But I believe that's the plan, yes. Do you expect the sale on the 10th of October? Yes, but I'm not sure how big a sale. It could just be a flyable ship sale, but it might be a concept sale as well. It might be something a bit more. What else have we got here? What's with the current state of 3.11 on the PTU? Not had a chance to physically play it, and my keyboard's not working too great. Waiting on a replacement. So it's okay. There's still a load of bugs with it that they're solving. Oh, Jesus Christ, Sarge. So, people don't know. He does that a lot. He drops a ridiculous amount of money. I love you. You're the best. We're going to be buying a 3080 with that for Zin. So, both mine and her footage will be matching in 4K. For Star Citizen, and you're a legend. Thank you. I don't know what to do with you, because you're the best. And you give me far too much money, and I don't deserve it. And everyone knows I don't deserve it. Everyone knows that I want it. But everyone knows I don't deserve it. Thank you so much, sir. You're a legend, and a gent, and a scholar. And I hope you know that my friendship with you is not based just on money. Oh, God. I'm getting the bank. I need to start an OnlyFans, is what it is. Send egg... It's the top of my head pictures. I'm sure there's a fetish for that. Oh, thank you so much, sir. You're a monster and a scholar and a gentleman. Oh. You don't even want anything from me. Get things from me. In the main party chat, correct. Well, it was working for me earlier, but in the patch notes, people have said that it wasn't working. And when it came to... It's a known issue to not work, the party chat not working properly. However, it was working for me earlier. Oh, you've given me more money. Of course you have. Thanks. I don't know how to make him stop. No, I'm not doing an OnlyFans. You know, some people would really like that, and it would be weird. Thank you so much. I don't know what I'm going to do with you. I realised if I react to you too much, you send me more money, and that makes me awkward. But thank you very much. That's so okay. Hiring Zin was a genuine financial worry for me, but I literally went, look, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. The channel was doing really well, even during bad times. It's only going to expand from there, and I want to be able to start making better content. And I am very low effort when it comes to editing. I'm bad at editing, okay? We know that. You've seen my content. Some of you, like, I'm relatively good at the research, and I can talk for days about Star Citizen and react to stuff. Only eggs account, yes, indeed. Only potatoes. But I get easily distracted as well, apparently. But my content typically is poorly edited, and Zin allows me to do significantly better editing, because I just go, Zin, make it good. Add production quality. Let's do some gameplay together. So we can do gameplay that's more interesting, we can chat, we can have bants, we can have better edited stuff. She can organise a community to actually do something greater as well with my BoredGamer community, or with synchronizers that have been helping us out loads. Thank you very much, synchronizers. I need to start doing the community spotlight stuff that I keep on saying I'm going to do. I was planning to do it once a month, and I get so distracted by life stuff. But what I'm saying is that ridiculous donations make that a lot easier, because I go, well, that pays for a wage for a month or whatever. when I look at the donations. So genuinely, thank you so much. Ridiculous donations and stuff, and donating and subscribing and becoming members or whatever are not a necessity for the channel to continue. But it does make it a lot easier. It does make it so that we can do stuff faster. And hopefully it makes the channel look and feel and actually the content better. So genuinely thank you so much for that. You are a champion and gent. And also, on my Star Citizen PC build, which I'll be talking about in the video that's going to go live after this, what I would like to do is people that have, at any point, that have like gone that extra mile, and it's sort of like people I want to give a special thank you to, I will engrave either on the graphics card or on the case or something. I'll work out if we can laser engrave it or if stencil it or vinyl it or whatever. But I want it so it persists permanently on that PC, and we'll show that PC off occasionally and go, look, you are part of my room. I mean, that's the least I can do. But thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, 3080 done. I'm done. Thank you very much, sir. I should have had a bigger donation goal. Someone just said. No, thank you. The only reason I put donation goals up on the screen as well, it's not to beg for the money. It's to you to know where that money is going. Yeah, for donation goals. Because what's the point otherwise? Like, people give. Actually, that's poorly worded. People donate and people give bits or whatever. I want them to know where that money's going at any given time. But yeah, thank you. That's, yeah. As I've talked about as well before, the streamer's paradox is I want people to donate and give money, but I also feel incredibly guilty when they give money, especially when it's a lot. And they can afford it as such. Thank you. Oh, you monster. We'll start selling egg pillows, confirmed. I will get some silly body pillow stuff. Don't you worry. Are there plans to create a blockchain-based currency for the game? Not that I'm aware. Hiring Zin is spelled Z-I-N. Zinnia. Was one of the best things you've done. Now you've just got to work on some more usable emojis. Yeah, we'll actually do that quite genuinely. I'll get some better emotes. We'll tweak some stuff. We'll get some polls on the go for that. But I think you'll start to see in the next few months the content gets significantly better. Magathus, thank you so much for subbing and becoming a member. Very much appreciated. With your Prime. Appreciated, sir. Thanks for the entertainment. No, thank you very much for watching. You need custom music? I'm using Star Citizen game music for most of my stuff at the moment, because I know that's usable under effectively their license. But any people are more than welcome to suggest free music or make free music or whatever for me, but it will go through Zin, not me. I don't know what's good. I never have. I am not arty. I'm not good at editing. I'm not great with music. The thing with, like, when I watch, like, Morphologists, is he's really great at setting the scene, getting the shots, making stuff look pretty, the editing, and the music, and they're setting it all up really nicely. I'm in more than a slight delay. I was really far behind in the messages, but now I've caught up massively. Oh my god, we need to make breakfast emotes so you can have a full breakfast or a course meal. Potato and avocado. Egg, potato and avocado, and beer. Nice. Can you register as a charity so I can deduct my donations? Wow. If only. No, I can't. Very much a business. It's very much a business. How important do you think lifetime insurance is for ships? I don't think it's very important at all. I think lifetime insurance is just going to cover the base hull of the ship and a lot of the cost of the ship, and what you're going to want to insure it more for, constantly, is going to be the components and all that sort of jazz. The components, it's weapons, or it's like military grade stuff. And I think that's going to be more than the value of the ship if you really outfit your ship properly. How's Theatres of War doing? So I've had a little bit of insider knowledge about this. They've still been doing a load of internal testing. It wasn't ready for testing in 3.10. they were looked at potentially doing some Evo tests. They decided it wasn't ready for reasons, but I'm not actually sure of those reasons. Hopefully we'll get some tests within the next few weeks after 3.11's release. I think that's the current plan. What do you say about third person? Someone said something about they didn't like third person. I've lost the question. I don't like the third person walking animation in CIG, changing that in the future. So they are improving the animations, yes, and the ragdolls animations, the reacting to weather and all that sort of stuff. Also, third person stuff in general is. I'm hoping that they have drones and stuff. If you go to third person, I'm hoping that you have to have a drone or something that shows that you're looking in third person. That's my hope, so that you can't exploit it. And maybe that can be like dealt with by the EMPs and stuff as well, because you could use effectively third person to see around corners better. Is the idea there. The reason you might not like some of the third person animations is because they're actually fully unified with the first person stuff, and they're a bit janky at the moment. The other thing. Any info on salvaging? My reclaimer's getting hungry. I think your reclaimer's going to be hungry for a while, because I think the first stages of salvaging that we're going to get is going to be the physicalized components, removal of components, subcomponents or whatever, and removal of weapons, and then putting them in a ship and then selling them. I think that's first stage salvage. That's not going to be more salvage, as in more. Ah! That's what the reclaimer does. It grabs, it tractor beams nom-noms into its face, and then crunches them up into cubes. Like a kestrel, apparently. How's the mother and father and the board family doing? Family doing pretty well. My dad's gone through his radiotherapy and is doing really well. He's changing all the radiators in the house at the moment. Because of course he is. Yeah, he's doing really well. And he's got some really very good medication, which is targeted therapy for his brain cancer, and that's doing wonders. So he's improving all the time. I did it, by the way. I ordered a new PC with a 3090. Sarge, tell me what it is like when you get it. We'll compare notes and we'll talk about it, because I'd like to know. I'm almost certainly never going to buy a 3090, because I think the 3080 is more than enough for one each for me and Zin. But yeah, I'd like to know what you're getting. Are you going to be? You've ordered a new PC. What's the rest of your specs? Are you going for Intel or AMD? I'm always sort of like interested to know. What starter ship would you pick to show off your inner swag? 300i family or 100i family? Well, 300i family if I had a choice. It's cool ship, better interior, better ship. 300i better. Not a starter ship though. I've noticed that Star Marine had a much better feeling in 3.11. Have not tried it in 3.11 in the first wave branch. I will have a look later. Thank you. Me and Zin did not enjoy it in 3.10.2. Hey Bod, do you know what's going on with the Micro Star Runner? It's going to be released in a 3.11.x patch. We don't know exactly when that's going to be, but I would expect it by the middle of November. Hopefully before that, obviously. I know there's a lot of bugs and stuff, but they are going to be fixing visual and texture bugs for some ships, such as the Origin 300i and its windshield being bugged. Yes, I expect some of that stuff is actually fixed for 3.11, although I can't confirm it's on their bug fix list, because I don't 100% know. Obviously, that is some of the annoying stuff, especially with glare and mirroring and the weird texture effects. I mean, other things that I want to get fixed are the Sabre and other ships that cockpits constantly open and close. I mean, what are your thoughts on keeping an Eclipse or Vanguard Sentinel? They're both cool ships. We need to see how they evolve in the future, though, to know if they're worth it. Have you experienced better reliability with the personal inventory system in 3.11? No. I've had odd bugs with it. So not yet. Hey, board, do you know, or we talked about that. With 3.11 and 3.12s, it seems it's very cargo orientated. Are they trying to flesh this out before any other loops? It's a major, simple loop that is core to the game. So, kind of, yes. They need to have the large cargo containers. They've been working on that for a while. And sort of like updated cargo 2.0 or V2 or whatever they're going to call it. So it is a huge focus for them. I'm not sure what Scum used for its third person, but I'll check it out and see if that's what I had in mind. An Intel 10900K. Okay. 64 gigs RAM, you monster. Yeah, but that is appropriate. I also have 64. All water cooled. Just bought it on from Origin. Yeah, link it to me later. I'd like to have a look. I'll be talking to some people about what case to get for my Star Citizen build soon. Oh, thank you, J-Bird. You're a star. Do you know if an overhaul of the star map navigation system is on the books? Yes, it is. They're revamping the star map. And there's going to be better ways of sharing and seeing locations and locational data. Have you played Hard Space Shipbreaker? I've watched some people play it. It looks fucking fantastic. Pardon my French. I'd love that co-op. Because it's basically like Viscera cleanup detail crossed with ship salvage. What am I thinking of? What's the dwarf mining game in space? Deep Mine Galactic? So this is actually last year's CitizenCon gameplay. The game actually looks a lot better than this now. In 3.11, admittedly. Deciding between the Nautilus, Polaris, and Reclaimer. Is the Reclaimer due a light rework at some point? Yes, to make it functional. I'm not sure anything beyond making it actually functional, and anything that entails. Obviously, all ships will be getting materials updates, sort of like lighting updates and stuff like that, and VFX updates as appropriate, and then all made usable for the physicalized inventory system and physicalized component system is actually what I meant there. The Nautilus, Polaris, and Reclaimer, I love them all. I'm much more like the Polaris and the Reclaimer. Probably the Reclaimer is probably one of my favourites by far. So sort of bear that in mind. But I want the functionality of salvage. That will make it a lot more appealing to use. At the moment, it is just a big ship. Doesn't really do much other than it is big. For something like cargo decks and refineries, do you expect Cloud Imperium to add locations first and gameplay much further down the road, or locations followed closely by associated gameplay? Locations either coming with or very closely followed by some form of gameplay associated with them, but maybe not before gameplay. Maybe gameplay that they need to iterate on. Star Citizen is already one of, if not the best space sim on the market already. It's too buggy and clunky for me, and it's non-PvP competitive at the moment. It's like broken for PvP. I think it genuinely will be one of the best games ever when it's completed, genuinely, and I think it's got it's a lot of fun, and I love playing it already, for sure. But I'm not sure it is one of the best space sims already, just because of how clunky and buggy it can be. I think it's certainly debatable. If you're getting love for it, if you're getting a load out of it, if you're really enjoying it, if you think that's great. And I'm not going to shit on your parade. I think it's a bit too buggy and clunky for me to call it one of the best space sims at the moment. I love Free Space 2. Like, I have so much love for Free Space 2. It's unreal. I think we'll probably play it through on the channel, the updated OpenGL one at some point, the remastered version. That was, I mean, I've got to love Star Citizen, and I genuinely think it will be one of the best games of all time when it's done. That's what my hope is, and I don't think I'm actually, I don't think it's a bet that I'm going to lose. But you know, but I think we all want something different from Star Citizen, or expect something different as well. I want it, so I'm more interested in the combat being competitive and fun and functional, more than being an actual sim. Much more gamified is fine with me. I'm interested in how the economy supports and promotes gameplay and how that affects all other functions of the game. How is that economy run? How is that affected by players? How does that affect missions? How do missions affect the economy? And and sort of like that, the sort of that gameplay element, the dynamic universe simulation stuff. That is, because I want to be very much an economist in game, very much industrial sort of player, less combat orientated typically. I want to be making that money, but I want to be doing stuff with like salvage, with the reclaimer. I want to be doing some science. I want to be doing a bit of everything. Do you think the Hull C will not be useful till Pyro and other systems come online? No, with the Hull C you'll still be able to haul a lot. You need to ship to station docking first. We need the Hull C to be in the game. But cargo is hit and miss from patch to patch at the moment, while there's very much a static economy. What systems do you think are after Pyro? The Nyx system probably straight after that. So I think they're just building a line to the Odin system. Yeah, the Odin system. That makes sense, yeah. Because that's where Squadron 42 is set. And also, we've got Levski, Dharma, which is supposed to be in the Nyx system. But it's in Stanton at the moment, but they're going to move it over. Sort of makes sense. Last I played, I found that all my ship upgrades were glitchy, upgraded guns would disappear, etc. Is this still happening? That definitely has been happening sometimes. I think that is largely fixed now. How confident are you the game will deliver on its promises eventually? It depends. I think that's going to be vastly opinion-based, because what you see as a promise, some people might see that mechanic completely differently to what was promised to other people see it. I think that Star Citizen will deliver on its base promises eventually, being they are trying to make the best space MMO, is basically what they're trying to make. And they're trying to make a great spiritual successor to Wing Commander that is a modernised, beautiful, high-fidelity version of that. And I do genuinely think that that's what they're trying to do, and I think that they've got all the tools to be able to do it. But Star Citizen's development cycle is a long one. And I'm hoping that we have Squadron 42 in our hands within a year. And I'm hoping that we have Star Citizen in a state where there are no more resets in 4-5 years. A lot of the problems as well, when people say, is this bug fixed or is this now working properly? Sometimes they fix it and it comes back. Yeah, which is not great, obviously. But that's typically because they put like a bodge fix in until they're addressing it later with an overhaul of something that they've already got planned. But any news regarding Crusader? Crusader and Orison are being split between Q1 and Q2 of 2021, and you will see that landing zone partly in Q1, and then the rest of it in Q2. From past experience, CIG rolls in unlisted things with their show updates. What do you think Cloud Imperium is going to toss in for the Expo this year? Oh, I don't know. I'm hoping we see some new cool ships. I'm hoping we see some cool in-game event stuff. Again, for CitizenCon, for what they've got on October 10th, for what they've got planned for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. I hope we have some cool in-game event stuff for at least the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. I hope we have some cool videos. Jax McCleary, whatever, don't really care. I do think he's a cool character. But I'm all about those in-game events. They really hype me up. Having the in-game expo hall, discovering stuff, having cool stuff happening with the fleet, having people trying to assault capital ships and see what else is going on. That's just cool. Makes you want to play the game. makes you want to group up with players and do silly things. I have an Origin 325A. Is it any good? Yes, it's the ship I learned how to do combat in. It's going to have, at some point, one of the best missile locking systems for its size. I really like it. I wouldn't recommend you change it at the moment because you don't know how it's going to be after the missile rework later next year. Or early next year. Will we get server meshing, pyro, crusader, salvage, cloud tech, theaters of war, and all that crap, and big features in 2021? So some of that, I'm hoping that we have some of this early on in 2021. But yes, so a lot of that sounds like it's 2021 features. I think we'll have iCache this year. I think we'll have first stage server meshing, the tier 0 server meshing. I think we'll have that first half of 2021, optimistically. Pyro, I'm hoping that we have some Pyro by the end of this year. Crusader, we know they've got that planned at the moment for Q1, Q2, 2021. Salvage, that's first, in my opinion, first stage salvage is just physicalized components. And we could have that as early as the end of this year if we're super lucky, but if not, 2021. Cloud Tech, yeah, I think, again, possible we could have some of the Cloud Tech stuff at the end of this year if they're pushing for it. Theaters of War, it's an interesting one because obviously it seems to have been delayed by a quarter or so from more external testing, or Evocati testing, whatever you'd call that. I'd hope we have it by the end of this year in some state. But yeah, it's possible that they're holding that back until it's really polished, which would be then, again, a 2021 thing. Is it a game yet? No, it's still being built. A lot of people play Star Citizen as a game. It's a playable alpha, and very much attempting to be playable. And for the most part, it is. There's a lot of forewarning and stuff that you can do to avoid bugs and the problems. But do you think Cloud Imperium is working on the Sol system in the background? I don't know. I know they had done some work on Terra, and I know they had the Sol system in for size comparisons. They'd built that a while ago, but like only very, very, very roughly. Right. Any other quick questions to go through before I dash off? Because I want to go check on my parents, make sure they're okay, make sure they're eating. My dad was trying to do stuff in the radiators of the house. I'm not sure why, because I would have just paid people to come in and do them. But he's old school and sort of like, no, I'm here. I want to do the radiators. That's not how my dad talks, but that's how he talks in my brain. Can we expect NPC villages to populate Stanton's planets and moons? Yes, they've actually been building homesteads and new points of interest for that very purpose. And obviously they're going to be building NPCs out. The physicalization of NPCs is going to be based on spawn lockers and the Dynamic Universe simulation, though. I can't believe I'm saying this, but No Man's Sky is actually becoming a really decent game now. Yes, and it has been for like 6 months or a year or so. Star Citizen Live is just about to go live. So if you guys, I'm going to go host Star Citizen Live. So go check that out. They're doing some environmental stuff and a game dev. So I will hand it over to them. Thank you very much for watching. Very much appreciated. Let us actually bring them up. Do you guys want me to host Star Citizen, or do you want me to host someone else that's watching Star Citizen with a launch party? What would you like? What would you like? I don't actually know anyone else that's watching it as a launch party, so we're just going to host them. Screw it. /raid. /raid. Radu. /raid Star Citizen. Okay. And if anyone else wants to go and watch that, let me link it here, and let's link it over here. Thank you so much for watching today. Oh no, I haven't linked it. I've just put Star Citizen in words. Let's go that. Let's go there. Let's go there. Bam. Thank you so much for watching and being part of my stream today. Thank you so much to Brandon and Megus and all the other people that donated and supported the stream. Sarge 3v3, Sergeant Eversman, thank you so much for $700, you madman. Very much appreciated. I'll make sure we write We love you, Sarge, or something on Zin's 3080. You are, genuinely, thank you so much. You're an absolute monster of a person. But thank you everyone else that helps make these streams, which is everyone that asks a question, everyone that joins in to watch. Genuinely, really appreciated. I get to do what I love for a living, and you get to watch me live. I'm not sure if that's a fair trade, but thank you very much. Plastic Death, Skullface, thank you. Robert Johnston, how can I forget you? You got slightly eclipsed by ridiculous Sarge, but thanks so much. DJ Brown, you're a monster. Thank you. Oh, for subbing as well, and all the subs and all the YouTube joins and all the things. Thank you. I appreciate it all very much. And Jaybird, you're an absolute legend for modding for us. I'll get some mod things to you guys at some point as well for helping out so much. You and Shiter have been absolutely great on the YouTubes. And I've had some great mods on the Discord, which probably have a little tiny mod reshuffle to make sure people are happy with any form of duties, and Zin will sort of take control of that. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. If you've got any questions that you want to ask or any feedback you want to give me, contact@boredgamer.co.uk, send me an email, come on my Discord, discord.gg/boredgamer. Say hello. I'll try and respond. I almost certainly will respond. I'll try and respond as quick as I can. Love you guys. You take care. Peace. Namaste.